Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And Tucker is right here, and so is Boo Radley, and they're being my little assistants today. I am filming like one video after the other. I am having so much fun tonight. I am pre-filming this video for Friday, so you're probably watching this video on Friday. I am filming it on Thursday evening. Like I said in my previous video, I'm trying to pre-film some videos for this weekend so that I can just like hang out with my husband and our friends and just do Halloween-y kind of stuff because I love Halloween so much. So, but I also love filming videos, and so I want to make sure that I have these ready to go up and things like that. All right, let's get into today's video. Now, yesterday I read from the Daily Book of Positive Quotations plus Time to Be Free. So I think today, as long as I look and they're applicable, I am going to read from the two Melody Beatty books, if I have time to get to both of them. So the first one is The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beatty. Let's get into this. Let's see what October 28th is before I make a commitment to this. Ooh, October 30th and October 31st are short. Oh no, it's October 29th, isn't it? Acceptance, acceptance. Okay, this is a good one. I love talking about acceptance. All right. Acceptance, October 29th. A magical potion is available to us. A magical potion is available to us today. That potion is called acceptance. We are asked to accept many things, ourselves as we are, our feelings, needs, desires, choices, and current status of being. Other people as they are, the status of our relationships with them, problems, blessings, financial status, where we live, our work, our tasks, our level of performance at these tasks. Resistance will not move us forward, nor will it eliminate the undesirable. But even our resistance may need to be accepted. Even resistance yields to and is changed by acceptance. Acceptance is a magic that makes change possible. It is not forever. It is for the present moment. Acceptance is the magic that makes our present circumstances good. It brings peace and contentment and opens the door to growth, change, and moving forward. It shines the light, a positive energy in all that we have and are. The dogs are just like literally running around in a circle. Can you guys hear them? Within the framework of acceptance, we figure out what we need to do to take care of ourselves. Acceptance empowers the positive and tells God we have surrendered to the plan. We have mastered today's lesson and are ready to move on. Today I will accept. I will relinquish my need to be in resistance to myself and my environment. I will surrender. I will cultivate contentment and gratitude. I will move forward in joy by accepting where I am today. And I love this meditation so much because acceptance has been a lesson for me in my life that I have learned so much from, you know. And I believe that the direct road to peace and serenity is through acceptance. And, you know, when I first got sober, I just questioned everything. I was like, why this and why that? And why did this happen? And how did this happen? And why, and you know, why am I supposed to do this? And why are you telling me to do this? I was so resistant to everything. So when the book talks about resistance, I completely relate to that, you know. And my first sponsor had me read from a story in the basic text of our 12-step program basic text, and it says in there that acceptance is the answer to all of my problems today. You know, when there is some person, place, thing, or situation that I don't want to quote it directly, but when I am troubled by that I have to realize that acceptance is my answer to that. That nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Now, that last part I really struggled with for a long time, okay? That nothing in life happens by mistake, or nothing in God's world happens by mistake. And I don't even know today that I necessarily 100% agree with that statement, you know? I see a lot of things that happen in the world, and I'm like, I just can't get behind this a lot, you know? But I was talking in my vlog the other day, and even talking about it, I thought, somebody's not going to like what I have to say about this probably, but oh well. But it was interesting because Jacqueline, who, I don't know if she watches my Peterisms video, but if you do, hey Jacqueline. Jacqueline commented, I was talking in there about the lessons that I had learned from my mother passing away, right? And she said, you know, I was talking about how that some of the greatest lessons that we learn in life come as a result of pain, okay? But I don't think any of us want to acknowledge that, you know? If I could get my mom back, you know, in exchange for the lessons I've learned, in a heartbeat. I would love to have my mom here, you know? I think about her every single day. I don't grieve on the same level that I used to, but I do think about her obviously, you know? I mean, how she lived in this house, you know? It's hard not to. And sometimes I walk in here and I feel like I smell her, and, you know, so it's hard. But I have learned really valuable lessons as a result of my mom passing. You know, I learned that life is very, very fragile, and it can be over like, that quickly. And if there's something that you really, really want, you got to go get it now, it's interesting because if you've watched my Peter Does Stuff channel or my vlog, I talked in there about how we just found out that little Tucker, has congestive heart failure and advanced heart disease. He seems so perfectly fine all the time. It's hard to believe. And I cried a million tears over it. And we just went to the vet today. But, one of the things that, I kind of beat myself up about at first was that, I learned this with Pee-Pee. When Pee-Pee was sick, our Chihuahua, and he had the same exact thing as Tucker, which is making it so hard. It's when I found that out, it was I would stand in the backyard with Pee-Pee for an hour if he wanted to, it's just my present moment just slowed down. And so we found this out again, and I have done that. I spend so much time with these dogs, but I was you could have spent so much more time with these dogs, and so you beat yourself up for things like that. And I thought, here's the lesson now. The lesson is presenting itself, so learn from it, right? And acceptance is just being you can't change things, My old sponsor used to say to me, you get so upset about spilt milk situations that just, a second after things happen, you can't do anything about what they just happened except for learning from that experience, right? So, at first, I used to have to read from that acceptance piece in that book, every single day. Acceptance is the answer to all of my problems today. Years later, just a couple years ago, when I was watching the video clip back of Oprah learning about forgiveness, and Oprah said that forgiveness is accepting that what happened in the past happened. Not that what happened was okay, but that it happened. Now, what are you going to do about it so that you're not held hostage to that event? And I was it was such a moment of clarity for me, you guys. It was it was literally an aha moment. I was there are so many things I think that have happened in our past, some trivial, some major events that we need to talk to counselors about. But there are so many events in all of our pasts that we allow ourselves to hold hostage to, that we allow ourselves to sit there and go, well, if this could have been different, if that could have been different, if this relationship had worked out, if that, situation had worked out, if this had happened, whatever. The if, right, of all of that, instead of the acceptance of saying, that's not what happened, and accepting that what happened, happened. I can't change it. I can't go back and do anything about it. I wish I could, but I can't. But it happened. Now what am I going to do about it? That's powerful. The release I felt from that was so powerful, you guys. So anyway, this was a great meditation for today, I think. And the other thing I want to say about this is, that it's interesting to me, when acceptance always comes up in meetings. And I've heard, so many friends of mine through the years say, I'm struggling accepting this, I'm struggling accepting, and I get it, right? But I always think deep down in my head, what's your alternative? I always think, in a realistic way, what's our alternative to accepting this? If I just don't want to accept that my mom has passed away, or I just don't want to accept that Tucker has heart disease, what do I do? Just acting as if, and not living in reality? We can find peace and serenity by living in reality. We can cherish the moment. I can cherish the moments that I have with the dog today and do the best job possible working with the vet and trying to keep him as healthy and happy as possible for as long as possible, But to just act like there's nothing going on there, no, I've never understood that, It's what's the opposite of acceptance is resistance, When you push against believing something, It's I think also part of that is being told horrible things about ourselves so often when we were younger, and that we've chosen to believe those things. Well, acceptance tells us to accept the fact that those things are not true, okay? That's the tape that runs in your head. The resistance is, no, they are true. I've been told, if you're told something long enough, you start to believe it. Like in the movie Pretty Woman, she says that, when he says you're beautiful, and she says the bad stuff is easier to believe. When someone tells you something long enough, you start to believe it. I cannot even tell you that 12 years of me being harassed, threatened, and bullied and called names, it was in there, okay? To the point where even at 40 years old, I believed those things to be true. I believed them to be true. I don't believe those things to be true today. I've accepted the opposite. I've accepted that I am a better person. I am a good person. And that I'm doing the best that I can to grow on a daily basis. I don't believe myself to be those things that I was called for all those years. That ugliness and that the bullying and the horribleness of all. I don't choose to believe that today. I don't want to. Life is too short. And I want that peace and serenity, it's not a luxury to me today. I want that. I want that good feeling inside. And feeling good about yourself is not allowing yourself to adhere and, play into that tape in your head. So it's saying, I don't accept that to be true, okay? I accept something else. And my truth is completely different, right? And that's where you go back to the idea of forgiveness. That forgiveness is looking at what happened in the past and, accepting the fact that it happened. Not that it was okay. It wasn't okay that I was called those names. It was horrible, and I'm sure half the people don't even remember it, and many of them have apologized. But it doesn't take away the fact that it happened. It happened. But what am I going to do about it? Am I going to continue to use it as an excuse for the rest of my life? Or am I going to choose to grow from it and say, you know what, I can rise above that. I can be a better person, and I can offer those people forgiveness and say, hey, you know what, everybody changes. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people change. A lot of people grow. A lot of people want to be better. I want to be better. I think many of you do too, and I think it's just a part of being human that we all want to grow and be better people, I think, well, maybe not for everybody, but I think there are some of us out there that do, So anyway, great meditation. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.